Sam Denay.
Sam Denay, the Encyclopedia of Reno Government and the father of Reno's next mayor, D-E-H-N-E, if there is an honest vote count. I'm a long-time silver saver, whatever it's called, REMSA deal. Fortunately, I've never had to use it, but I think I've had this card for 20 years, back before it was even called REMSA. Anyway, and I agree with Mr. Ward there, absolutely. The only thing is, I don't think that we're at that point of the situation on this agenda item, because what the agenda item says is to establish a regional medical services oversight program. Now, once that oversight program is established, assuming you do that, then all of these questions and concerns should be addressed to them. The question before you guys right now is whether or not you want to or should establish an operation that will listen to folks like that guy over there and Mr. Ward, the other guy too, whatever his name was, I forgot already. I've only seen it about 5,000 times in the newspaper, but it still slipped out of my mind. At any rate, you see, you get my point. You're looking askance. Am I wrong? Or do you understand what I'm saying? Maybe you didn't read it right either. It says to, as a matter of fact, a little bit of that second guy was a little bit off of the mark of what the agenda is talking about. This is to establish whether or not to establish an oversight board. She's nodding her head. Nobody else has anybody read it, and nobody's even agreeing or disagreeing. And people on TV land, people in the audience who did not read this, all we're talking about is whether or not, I'm not trying to be contentious, I'm just saying let's keep this thing on the agenda item. The agenda item is to whether or not to establish this oversight board. And then all of these other questions of whether or not we should have, and I agree that we should not have a long-term contract, but all of these questions should be brought before that new board. And I'll even volunteer to be on the board. What are the chances of that? And what are the chances of Sam Denay, the Encyclopedia of Reno Government, being appointed to an important board in this community? Never happens.